to tell the story about my great-great-grandfather, Hiram Murray. And Hiram Murray was from Switzerland. When he was 14 years old, his family joined the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and his family pulled together all the money that they possibly could. And they bought him a ticket to come over to the United States. Because he had joined the church, and his purpose in coming over here was so that he could be closer to the church, as well as to find some work that was hard to find over there in Switzerland at that time. The church was going to help him come over, and then they were going to help him find a place to live in Salt Lake City. And so he came over. It took him a couple of months to get over because it was done by boat. So it took him a couple of months to finally reach Salt Lake City. Once he got to New York, then he had to travel to Salt Lake City. And once he got to Salt Lake City, he stayed for just a little bit. And the church chose to send him to St. Anthony, Idaho, which is just about 60 miles kind of southwest of Yellowstone National Park. And they chose to send him up there because that community was just starting to become established, and they were sending church members up there to help their church grow. So Hiram went up there, ended up staying with a little family until he could kind of find a little place of his own, and he built his own little house, had help from those that he was staying with, and built a little house. And he ended up finding his wife up there. His wife happened to also come from Switzerland, and the church also chose to send her up there as well to help kind of establish try to get the church established in the community. So Hiram and his wife Anna, they met and were eventually married. They were married for about, I believe, 20 years, and in that 20 years they had 5 children. And the youngest one was my grandfather, Jess Hiram Murray. And when my grandfather was about 5 years old, Hiram died from pneumonia. And it was extremely hard on the family to have 5 children at that time, mom who did not work. And so my grandfather always said that from as early as he can remember, he always was doing small jobs to help pay for bills, groceries, just random things that families always need. And so he always worked hard to save his money, which is a value and a characteristic that he really pushed hard onto his children. And my mother is exactly the same way as that, and I am the same way as well, just being very frugal with your money. And I think that was a characteristic that was passed down from my great-grandfather, Hiram. In times like that, when money was kind of scarce and you were in a big new world all by yourself, trying to work to get your family to come over, and finding somebody in a new environment, that can always be scary. So that's my storytelling.